What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of Milwaukee Medichams, and welcome everybody to week 3 of the UCDL, where this week we're going to be going up against none other than my good friend Zach Mander, coach of the Canadian Cyrilliches. Here is the team's flap. Overall, I am very scared for this game, but all things considered, I think I have a pretty good shot of beating this team. There's definitely a lot of 7th Mon type deals when trying to prep for this team. I really wanted to bring Sylveon, but I decided that Basque Legion, if I was bringing Rain, I needed to have Gastrodon. Corviknight needed to be here just for Ting Lu. Obviously, Ting Lu doesn't show up. This is actually okay, so no Cyclizar. Everything else that I expected showed up. So that's very interesting. We see SKUNTANK over Cyclizar. That makes me very glad that I didn't bring Sylveon now, because Sylveon was mainly for Porygon Z. We do see Basque Legion, we do see Rillaboom, we do see Electros. Alright, no Iron Moth and no Cyclizar. What's the other Pokemon? No Ting Lu. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, this is more or less what I was expecting. I'm immediately going to lead I Am here, just so that way I can go ahead and get that triggered. Corviknight is obviously also my Rillaboom switch. It's my dedicated Rillaboom switch. It just always is. I'm very curious to see what my opponent leads off with. I'm very scared of Jirachi and Electros. Those are actually the scariest Pokemon, in my opinion. Basque Legion, Gastrodon can handle pretty reliably. If it's Mold Breaker, then that means it's not Swift Swim as well, which is very important information to have. And then for Rillaboom, we have Corviknight, obviously. Like Rillaboom can't do anything to Corviknight, so that's why we have that. Maybe we could see a bulk upset. That would be kind of terrifying, but at the same time, I don't think so. I think that's very unlikely, at least in my opinion, that we see a bulk upset here. It could definitely be here, but if it is here, then we'll make it work. But anyways, good luck have fun to my opponent. Let's freaking do this. I am very excited, and yeah. So my opponent is immediately going to lead off with Rillaboom. That makes a lot of sense. We're probably going to see, my guess is they could click Glide here, just in case I try to go for a slow flip turn. That would make sense. I'm just immediately going to go ahead and swap into my Corviknight every single time. Corviknight is always going to be my switch. There is zero reason for me not to do this play. Getting Choice Banded PALAFIN activated immediately is extremely nice, and it's basically for free too, because Rillaboom is not going to enjoy, like, even if it goes for U-turn, it's not going to enjoy taking this chip. So we go into I Am Driver, which is great. We could see a knockoff as well. We're going to reveal our Unnerve, which makes sense. We do see a U-turn. That makes a lot of sense, and that does literally diddly squat to us. And Donkey Kong gets hurt by the Rocky Helmet, which is obviously really nice. We're going to see that they swap out. That is fine by me. So now, the question is, what is going to switch in here? I'm very scared. I could see Rachi is my assumption. We're going to see Eel, so it's actually Electros. Very interesting. Electros is the switch, so okay. My guess is you're running speed investment. I'm wondering if you're running speed investment for this. I could switch it to Slugger. I could also switch it to Pawmot. Both of these are really reliable switches. Electros should never be able to KO Pawmot, even with, like, the Zen Headbutt, so, because of the Pyapa Berry, which is why, the main reason why I have Pyapa Berry. If we see an electric move, then they know we're not taking the bait on that one, so we'll see. We just see a U-turn. Okay, that's fine. This is a small chunk of damage, so 253. That took me down to 253. Let me see here. 253 versus Electros. That did about that much damage. Okay, so that definitely seems to be not physically invested Electros. So that's good to know. That is very good to know as well. Pawmot is on the field. My guess is, I think the best Pokemon that goes in on this is going to be the Val. So let's see if this is Valiant. This is actually Rachi. I'm okay with this exchange because I can knock off this thing's item, and I like that a lot. I really want to knock off this thing's item and just make it have a bad time. So I'm going to click knock off here, see what they want to do as well. I'm very curious. We are the Pyapa Berry, so we should always tank a hit from this thing. If they go for a U-turn, that's amazing. We just get a free knockoff. We're going to knock off the leftovers, which is great. We're going to see a Psychic Noise pop off. That's fine by me. Palma already doing what it needed to do. Already just going nuts. So my guess is that was a pretty decent roll. We see that we're prevented from healing, that's fine. Okay, so I can click double shot or I can click close combat words. I'm very tempted to do, I'm very tempted to click double shock here, especially if they click U-turn, because if they click U-turn, I think that's very massive for me. We've seen Psychic Noise. Psychic Noise might not kill me, actually, from this range, which is another reason why I feel comfortable clicking double shock. There's also no switch into this either. So I think I'm just going to click double shock. I'm just going to, if I can get rid of this Rachi, I'm going to try to get rid of this Rachi. So we're going to go for a double shock here. Bada bing, bada boom. Unfortunately, doesn't die, but we do lose our electric typing, which is great for us. We're going to just see another Psychic Noise. Okay, that's fine. Does pick up the kill. Unfortunate. So I thought we might not have been in range, but apparently we were. So I didn't bother to calc that too much. I'm not too heavily worried about it. Slightly annoying, but we'll make it work. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go into I Am Joe. If you go for a T-Wave, that's not ideal, and that tells me you're probably Swift Swim, Basque Legion. But you know what? It's fine. I could have also just gone into this. I'm going to immediately actually set up a spike. That is what I'm going to do. We could see SKUNTANK as the switch. That could definitely be something that I could see. If it is the switch, that's completely fine by me. I'm going to set up a layer of spike. I think you're going to want to switch out here. Yep, you're going to want to switch. That makes a lot of sense. Probably into Spoopy. What is Spoopy? Is that Basque Legion? That is SKUNTANK. Perfect. I'm okay with this. So we're going to immediately fire up a Toxic Spike. I'm very okay with this exchange. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Getting a Toxic up on the field is absolutely amazing for me. I don't know what you want to do to me. I think you're probably going to click knock if I had to guess, if you're switching in this. I am a bit scared of a flamethrower. That is definitely a thing that I am afraid of. I could go into Slugger, and I kind of... Let's see here. Can SKUNTANK do anything to Gastrodon, actually? Even if you go for that. Let's see. Gastrodon... No, I want SKUNTANK, actually. SKUNTANK, do you get a grass move? You get Trailblaze, technically, but if you're running that, then I think Corviknight might check that completely. So what I might do here, I either go for second layer of Toxic Spikes, or I go for something else. I think what I want to do, I'll go for second layer. I like going for a second layer here. This also reveals that we're faster than this thing, which makes sense. Let's see what they want to do. I'm very curious. We are going to see a Super Fang. Okay, that makes sense. Super Fang tech, it makes a lot of sense here. I respect that a lot. So I think what I'm going to do now is I will go ahead and swap into Gastrodon. I can do that for free. I can also just swap into Corv. You probably have Flamethrower, if I had to guess. I think you have Flamethrower, and I do kind of want to keep the Rocky Helmet alive, so I will go into Slugger. And I think I'm just going to try to set up a layer of Spike. If we see another Super Fang, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't think you can kill me with a... Like, if you go for knockoff, you definitely won't kill me with a Trailblaze if you don't knock. Let's see. SKUNTANK. Let's see here. Yeah, the... Trailblaze, Super Fang, that's fine. Trailblaze, yeah, does diddly squat to me. So I think what I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to click Recover. I do like clicking Recover here. I do also like clicking Spikes. I like both of these plays. I kind of want to prioritize getting damage off, so I'm going to go for a Spike. We are going to see the swap. I do really like going for a Spike here because that makes Rachi a harder time switching in. We're going to see, speaking of, the Rachi switch in. All right, that's fine. So we're going to set up a layer of Spikes. Let's see, Jirachi. Alright, so Chilling Water's not going to deal that much damage to me, unfortunately. Let's see, Energy Ball. Does 31 to 38%. We've seen Psychic Noise, we've seen... I don't know what else we've seen. But I think we're okay to kind of just go into Joe. I kind of like going into Joe here. I'm going to go into Joe. I think that's a safe play for me to make, but I think it's a good one. I think it's an okay play for me to make. Getting a layer of Spike up immediately is very, very nice. We could see a layer of Rocks. We are going to see a layer of Rocks. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We could see the SKUNTANK switch back in to get rid of the Toxic Spikes. I think that makes a lot of sense as well. In which case, I might go Corv. And on that switch... Actually, yeah, I'm going to go for Corviknight on a U-turn. Because if you go for a U-turn here, then you might just die to Rocky Helmet, which would be amazing for me. So we're going to go into I Am Driver. I think you might be going for U-turn here. Let's see if you're going for a U-turn. We, like, Poison Stones dig in. That's fine. We're going to see a hard swap. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see if we see Eel. We're going to see Spoopy. So that's going to be the, this thing. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of damage. The Poison Spikes disappear. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I will go ahead and defog, I think. I like getting rid of these hazards. We're going to see a Super Fang. That's fine. You're going to weaken yourself down, which is really good. I like that a lot. Now, here's the thing. Let me make sure SKUNTANK... Like, if you have, like, Flamethrower, 34 to 40%... If you're modest, I'm at 170. I'm at 43. If you're modest, it could kill. So do I want to play around that? I need Corviknight for Rillaboom. I always need Corviknight for Rillaboom. That is just always something that I need. So I will go back into Slugger here. I like going back into Slugger here. I think that's extremely important. So I will go ahead and do that. Let's see if you have Flamethrower. If you reveal it, or you can see a knockoff as well. We just see a taunt. Okay, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for Chilling Water. I want to see what this thing wants to do to me. If they want to switch out as well, because I could have Earth Power. They could go in, they could take this opportunity to go into Rillaboom. They could take this opportunity to go into they could stay in. They could go into Rachi. They could do a few things here. So I'm very curious to see what they want to do. We are going to see the swap, so that makes sense. Let's see what wants to switch in here. My guess is probably Rillaboom. We're going to see Eel. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We're gonna see Eel switch in. We're gonna fire off a Chilling Water. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Alright, we're gonna lower the attack, which is obviously great. We like that. We like that a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and swap back into Spiky Joe. I want to see a grass move proc here, just so that way I get confirmation as to what on Zach's team has a grass move, because I'm sure something has a grass move, and I have a feeling it's this. We could also see a U-turn here. I don't think so, though. I'd be pretty surprised to see a U-turn. We're gonna see... Okay, we do see a U-turn. Okay, that's fine then. That is okay. We could see the SKUNTANK probably switch back in, if I had to guess. I think that makes the most sense. I don't think SKUNTANK wants to necessarily do anything to me. We're gonna see Zell. That's actually gonna be Val. So, yeah, that's Valiant. So, Valiant switches in. Overquill versus Iron Valiant. We could definitely see a KO coming our way, which is a bit scary. So I'm very tempted to go into I Am Perish. I do want to keep Overquill alive. I do want to do that. I want to be very careful with my next play. I want to keep Overquill alive. I don't want Slugger to go down necessarily, but that might be what has to happen here. I think I'm going to go into I Am Perish. I'm going to go into I Am Perish here. Let's see what they want to do. We could see them lock into Calm Mind or something like... We could see like a Calm Mind or something like that. I think you're just going to go for an attack, if I had to guess. I'm very curious to see what the attack is. We're going to go for set up our Rain, which is fine. Valiant is very scary. We're going to see Moonblast, so it is special. We take that, actually, which is kind of insane. Alright, Politoed is a beast. So I think what I want to do here, I could Chilling Water. I could also just swap into something else. Politoed versus this, Iron Valiant. Yeah, that did like, nothing to this, which is kind of insane. Life Orb. Okay. Weather Ball could just one-shot this thing, so they do want to switch out here, obviously. I think what I might do is I might double into PALAFIN, because I think you're going to swap into Rillaboom. I could also just switch into Corv. I could also just switch into Overquill, honestly, because I don't think you stay in here. I think if you stay in, that's kind of insane. How much damage do I do to Rillaboom? Not that much, unfortunately. I could just go for a Chilling Water just to neutralize this. Whatever wants to switch in. That could be nice. I think I might do that, actually. I might Chilling Water here. That way, that gives me a free switch into, like, if Rillaboom comes in, it gives me a free switch into Corviknight. We're gonna see Eel, so that's actually gonna be the Electros. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go for another Chilling Water. Bada bing, bada boom. We can end your attack a little bit more, which is great. Love to see that. I think this time I will go into... Do I want to stay in, actually? No, I definitely don't want to stay in. I think we could see a U-turn here, possibly. I will go into Gastrodon this time. It's a pretty obvious play, but I do want to do it here. I want to keep Gastro alive for Basky Legion. I'm not super worried about Basky Legion right now. We're going to see a U-turn. That's unfortunate. Okay, what's going to switch in on this? Is it going to be Rillaboom? Is it going to be Val? What is it going to be? My guess is probably Val, but if Val comes in and picks me off, then that means I get a free switch into PALAFIN and I can click a button. Because even like a Banded Wave Crash in the Rains, Rillaboom does not enjoy... Nothing enjoys tanking that. So I'm very happy with just going nuts with that. Zell's going to be the switch. That is fine by me. That is going to be this Pokemon. I am going to go ahead and click Yawn in case they want to try to set up. And we're just going to see Moonblast. That should pick me off. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep, okay, so Gastrodon goes down. We're doing okay. This is not ideal, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and swap it to PALAFIN. Nothing wants to switch in on PALAFIN right now. Literally nothing. So let's see. Bascu. Let's see here. Yeah, literally, I think we could see a Rachi Sack. I think that makes the most sense. So I will go ahead and just click Flip Turn here. We are going to see the swap. That makes sense. So we're going to go ahead. Let's see the Rachi switch in. Yep, that's going to be the Rachi going down. We're going to get a Flip Turn off into probably Overquill is what I'm going to do here. So I'm okay with this. This is fine. I'm okay with this. Valiant is very scary, but the nice thing is PALAFIN always picks up a kill when it comes in. I'm going to go into I Am Joe here, and we're probably going to see the SKUNTANK switch back in. That would be a safe assumption from me, at least, I think. Spoopy, that's SKUNTANK. Yep. Okay. So we're in the rain. This will do a decent chunk of damage to you, regardless, so I will just go ahead and click Liquidation. If you don't go for Super Fang, you can't do anything to me, so I'm okay with this. You're probably Aftermath if I had to guess. I'm hoping for defense drop. We're going to see Rocky Helmet. Okay, that's fine. We're going to see any knockoff. Okay, not ideal, but it's fine. We're going to see the Black Sludge gets knocked off. Okay, I'm going to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes now. I'm going to make this very painful for my opponents. That is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make sure that you can't just keep pivoting around. We're going to see a Super Fang. That's fine. Okay. I will Liquidation this time again, just so that way I can either catch something on a switch or just have some fun shenanigans. Liquidation, bada bing, bada boom. Badooskies. Critical hit is insane. Let's go. Love to see that. Alrighty, so I Am Joe goes down. That's fine by me. Knockoff, also fine by me. The rain unfortunately stops, so it do be like that sometimes, but I think what I do here, I think I can go into driver. The problem with going driver here is that the Rocky Helmet plus Aftermath combo is kind of scary. I don't like that a lot. Unfortunately, I think that's the combo that I have to do, so I will go ahead and do it. Maybe I should have gone Palafin, actually. I should have gone Palafin. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and actually double. I will go ahead and double here. The reason I'm doing this is because I think this is more important. I need to keep Corviknight's HP alive. We're gonna see a swap, actually, which is kind of insane. What are we swinging switch in? It's going to be Eel, so Electros is the switch. Very interesting. So, Electros. Okay. When it's not in the rain. A Wave Crash should just straight up drop this, I think. I think a Wave Crash, even outside of rain, just drops this. I'm gonna click Wave Crash. Yep, we're gonna see the swap. Let's see Basket Legion or Rillaboom switch in. Spoopy. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We're gonna take like a tiny... We're gonna take Aftermath and other stuff. That's fine. Okay, the Poison Spikes, getting rid of the Poison Spikes. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well played. This is fine though. I'm still okay with this. We're taking a lot of chip, but that's okay. Zach Mander's been playing this really, really well. I have to respect that as well. This was a very tough match for me to prep for. DK! Donkey Kong! Alright, so obviously you're scaring me out. That makes sense. So I'm actually going to go into I Am Perish here, I think, because I don't really need this Pokemon anymore. I need just raw damage output on my Palafin. That's what I'm going to need. Basically, whatever wants to do shenanigans is going to be Palafin just switching in and doing Jet Punch stuff. So if I can power that up as much as I can, then that'd be great. We are going to see the U-turn. That makes the most sense to me. All right, so we see the swap. I'm kind of hoping to see Electros switch in here, so that way I can get at least a little bit of intel as to whether or not it is like a choice item, or not choice item, but speed invested. That would be really, really nice information to have right about now. We're probably going to see a Valiant switch in to pick up the kill. It's not actually going to be Valiant. It's going to be Basque Legion. Okay, so Basque Legion switches in. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and click Chilling Water. I can just do that for free. I'm very curious as to see what you want to do here. It's probably going to be a Wave Crash. We're just going to see a Flip Turn, actually. That's fine. We live because Politoed is a beast. Let's go, Politoed. We're going to see Eel, so that is going to be Electros. I'm okay with this. I want intel on this. I want to see what type of set this is. We're gonna go for Chilling Water here. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, show me what type of build you are. Alright, so that means Corviknight outspeeds Electros. That is really, really good information to have. I think I might go into Corv here. Never mind, I'm not going to Corv. I'm going to go into Palafin next. I must admit, his pivot game is on point. We're gonna see Zell, so that is going to be Valiant. Okay. Valiant is an interesting switch here, just because Jet Punch is coming your way, and it's going to hurt. Nothing on my opponent's team wants to take 2 Jet Punches, I don't think, so even with the terrain, so I'm very curious as to see what switches in here. It's going to be Eel, so I think this is going to be Electros going down, which makes sense. Jet Punch, bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Alright, Electros goes down. Love to see that. I might just low-key, if it's not Rillaboom, I might just stay in. Honestly, even if it is Rillaboom, I kind of want to just stay in. Donkey Kong comes back in. Okay, so here's what I need to figure out. I think you're going to U-turn out. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think you're going to U-turn. I don't think you're going to predict me to stay in, so I'm going to click Jet Punch. Alright, so we click Jet Punch here. Let's see if they go for a U-turn. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to see a U-turn. Perfect. Alright, that's what I figured. Alright, so Basque Legion is going to come in now. I think I do have to Jet Punch here, unfortunately. Let's see what they want to do. Jet Punch, bada bing, bada boom. Does a lot of damage. Let's go. We're going to see a Wave Crash. Alright, that makes sense. Boom. Okay, Palafin goes down. I think Corviknight might not be able to handle this, unfortunately. I think... Let's see what happens here. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be really, really interesting, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just click Roost. I think you could die to your own recoil as well, so it might be a 2-0 loss. We're gonna see Wave Crash here. We are gonna lose this. I'm very curious to see if the recoil and the Rocky Helmet will knock you out. I don't think it will, actually. So, really well played to Zach Mander. We're gonna lose this 0-3. But again, this was a very tough matchup for me, and he played this extremely well. The SKUNTANK set was very, very smart. Mad respect to him on that. And, yeah, we're going to be playing in the NUZLOCKE tomorrow, so I'm going to be getting my revenge there. But yeah, once again, GG's to my opponent. Really, really well played. Absolutely stellar game. We're 1-2 currently, so not the most ideal situation right now, but I know we'll be able to bounce back. This team is way too overpowered, in my opinion, to not bounce back with, so I'm not too concerned. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to check out my opponent's side of the battle down in the description below and their channel. They are an amazing person and absolutely love chatting with them all the time. And yeah, I think that'll do it. So thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!